Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you'll meet someone who is passionate about extreme customer service, and she's going to talk about how that plays out in her garage door business. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I'm so excited for this show because I am extremely passionate about extreme customer service. In fact, our receptionist, her title is Director of First Impressions. I have this theory that everybody wears the same t-shirt. It says, "Make me feel special." Not everybody can see that, but my next guest can. She can see it from a mile away. Kathleen Twetten is in the studio. She is with Wall to Wall Garage Solutions. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And we met at a networking group last week, Catholic Connections, and we just clicked, and I said, I need to have you come on the show and share your journey. So let's talk about customer service. What does that mean to you?
I think just really simply, I want to treat other people the way that I would want to be treated. I want to love my neighbor as I love myself. And I've been kind of on a long personal journey in learning how to love myself. But once I engaged with an awareness of my own dignity and a practice of self-compassion, it's kind of like just a recent interviewee on the show,
Sure.
Renee Marino, was talking about. It's that relationship with yourself that connects you to others. So when you have that healthy relationship, you can then love others well. So I love human connection. And again, it's been a long journey, but that's kind of where I come from in wanting to take care of this human family in which we live and in which I belong. It took a long time to realize I belong here, but I do, and you do too.
And I love it. And your eyes get misty when you talk about this. But I mean, in the service industry, my wife and I hate it when something's wrong with the plumbing because they're going to see you between 9 and 5. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yes.
So I think the customer service thing has gone by the wayside in the service industry.
Agreed.
And I want to put a before and after up on the screen. Let's start with the before. Tell us this story about this garage that you helped fix.
This is a fun one. This is out in Southlake or Grapevine. I got a call at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday and had all 4 of my beautiful children with me, but didn't want to miss out on this opportunity. So loaded up the kids. They got to watch a little show on the DVD player on their way up in the minivan, because on weekends we can do a little screen time. And just got out there, got out my color swatches, figured out exactly what the customer had originally, what they would want, and then proceeded to figure out how to get it for them. So
and look at that, that's beautiful. Now, it wasn't just a off the rack door. You had to have it special ordered, or you went. How did you get this door so quickly?
Well, a little bit of skill and a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Most garage door distributors are closed on Saturdays, but the 2 that I knew of, I checked in with, figured out what they had in stock that would be this color, and then I noticed in measuring the opening of the garage door that it was really only about 6 feet 8 inches high, whereas the door that was there that was totaled was 7 feet high. And so ideally, you would want a 6'9" door height so that everything just looks nice. You have, all of the little steel stamp shapes falling in the frame.
Right.
And so it was amazing. Between 7:30 that morning and 3 that afternoon, the customer had a beautiful, smoothly rolling new garage door that matched perfectly.
I love that story, and that you went above and beyond the call of duty, because you could have just slapped a door in there, but it wouldn't be art.
Exactly,
yes.
and most customers do. And I mean, sometimes I don't know if it's a double-edged sword, because sometimes I care so much about the end product as something that will be beautiful and functional.
Yes.
But I also want my customers' needs to be met. So if you're a property management company and you just want whatever's available right now. I've got a customer who will buy used doors from me because that's what works for her, so I'm happy to meet the customer wherever they are. I would never sell a used door without the customer knowing that it's used.
And some of the companies out there charge too much. You were telling me a story right before the show began. Would you share that story?
Yeah, so I've got a neighbor just a couple doors down who I noticed a garage door truck outside of his home. He had just recently moved in. And so I made a little mental note, okay, go check in with him when the garage door company leaves. And I walked over and just said, hey, noticed a truck, are you thinking about new doors? And he said, yes. And I said, well, I actually operate a garage door company and I would love to offer a quote. And so I did. And I asked him if I could also see the quote that the last company had shared. And they had quoted him $15,000 for 2 single garage doors and 2 openers. And my company was able to get the entire project done for around $5,000. So
wow,
significantly less.
And let's kind of go back to your faith, because obviously we met through Catholic connections. This do unto others is really core to how you approach your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I've got some pictures that I want to put up, and I'm going to have you kind of walk us through the pictures. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. What are we looking at?
Okay, let's see. This looks like a 16 by 7 chocolate brown. It could be non-insulated, it could be vinyl back insulated or double steel insulated. It's definitely a steel on the exterior, probably a 24 gauge. I like the 24 gauge steel doors. They're the strongest ones in the residential industry, and they just won't bend or crack as readily as a 25 gauge or a 27 gauge.
Sure. How about the next one?
Beautiful. Love these. I know. So this is a wood grain finish, but it's actually a steel door. And what I like about the steel doors, as opposed to the wood garage doors, is that they're not going to warp. They're not going to rot. Wooden doors they age quickly and they're so heavy. And so this is a nice, smooth, easy to operate, lasts, Lord willing, for decades.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How about this one? Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, very similar. Yep, very similar. It's slightly different wood grain finish. I think this is probably the walnut oak finish as opposed to maybe the cypress that we might have seen earlier.
Sure. Next one. All right, what are we looking at here?
We're looking at a job that is not yet complete. I think we're going to be installing some full view glass doors at a place of business.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And how long does something like that take?
It might take several hours to a couple days, kind of depending on how many techs are on the job and, what all is entailed.
Sure.
Yeah.
How about that one?
Similar, a frosted glass, would be full view if you could see through it, otherwise just frosted.
Yeah. And this one?
This is, I'm blanking on the name, probably like a flush panel. They call that like the modern steel or the flush panel garage door. So it's just entirely smooth. There's a little bit of a wood grain texture to it, but otherwise just entirely smooth.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. This is just your standard non-insulated garage door from the inside.
Well, I love that one, there are so many varieties. So when you sit down with a customer for the first time, do you show them, we can go from A to Z?
Honestly, I don't. What I like to do is find out what are my customers' priorities, because some don't care what they look like, don't care whether it's insulated. But if I can figure out what their needs are,
sure.
I actually just was out at the mayor of Farmers Branch's house.
Oh, cool.
Measuring his garage door openings. And, I want to find out from the customer, what do you need? I'm not here to give you 50 options that you maybe already know exactly what you want. But of course, every step of the way, I try to give my customers as much information as they need to make an informed decision, because I really want.
On a typical home, I'm guessing that the builder, especially if it's just a moderately priced home, is going with the cheapest door possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And do you end up seeing a lot of that where a person barely backs into it and it's crumbles?
I can't stand. I won't name the manufacturers, but there are certain manufacturers that every garage door technician I've ever worked with will cringe when I tell them what the door is, and there's like, just replace it. Like, it doesn't make sense to even try to salvage what's here. Yeah. So builder grade doors can be tough to work with.
And I told you last week that I ended up getting our garage doors programmed. We had lost one of the clickers that my wife wanted, and so I didn't know who to call. There's a sticker in the garage.
Exactly.
And I just called the person on the sticker. And you actually have an offer. So tell us, we're going to put the graphic up so you can see the number. Okay, so tell everybody what you're going to give them.
Okay, if you would like this handy dandy sticker on your garage door, I'd love for you to either put it on the wall next to the automatic opener button, or you could put it right inside on the garage door. Anywhere on the inside of the garage door, there might already be a sticker there. Feel free to slap it over whatever you've got, because I would love to come out and help. In general, I can beat any written quote like for like, and I really try to deliver products and services that are above the industry average in terms of quality and value, and below the industry average for pricing.
I love it. And I want to end the segment with you challenging other business owners to do the same thing, to do unto others as you would do unto yourself, right? And so go ahead and look into the camera and challenge other business owners to live a life of integrity.
Only if I'm allowed to go a little misty-eyed.
Yeah, please.
All right, folks. We're all part of this human family. And we all want human connection, and we all want people to recognize our dignity and to treat us accordingly. So if you are a business owner, no matter how big or small, it's not about how much money you can make in this life. You can't take it with you. It's about the connections that you can build and the relationships that can really go on forever.
What a beautiful way to end this segment. I love it that you got Misty. We're going to end with her website, which is walltowallgarage.com. Kathleen, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks so much, Jeff. It's been fun.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.